Hi, this is Mike Hendrickson from Strata Hadoop World in New York. I'm here with Joel Horwitz. Joel, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
So you're a director at IBM?
I am. I'm director of marketing for Worldwide Analytics.
Worldwide Analytics.
Mm-hmm.
Can you unpack that a little bit? What does Worldwide Analytics at IBM look like?
Well, so IBM Analytics spans a lot of areas. Predominantly here, it's big data and analytics. So we're talking Hadoop, we're talking Spark, we're talking streams, we're talking data warehouse products. It also includes emerging areas like information of things, right, or Internet of Things, excuse me, IoT. It also includes like insight as a service, so some of the data services we're providing around Twitter and the weather company and things of that nature. It also includes aspects of Watson, so like Watson Analytics and key capabilities of that, SPSS, so it's a pretty full portfolio.
And then I think you even have a medical group that uses probably some of the analytics and researching and all
yeah,
that.
So we have a group called Watson Health. That's actually separate than IBM Analytics, so there's a separate Watson group. So we're talking mostly the kind of data warehouse, traditional analytics.
So
what do you think of?
IBM is the canonical company that works with pretty much everyone, every industry.
Yeah.
What are you seeing from the market? I mean, people interested in analytics, what are they looking to do?
If I had to sum it up in one word, I would say that people are looking for agile. I really do.
Okay.
I think that no matter what all of these vendors are selling, in essence, are just different ways to reap, get a better ROI from their data investments, right? And I think one of the best ways to demonstrate ROI is when you think of novel ways, innovative ways to work with data. And so for us, I mean, we have a lot of different capabilities that enable that because, as you know, people come from different backgrounds, mm-hmm. and whether you're a data scientist or a business analyst or a developer or just someone who's trying to use data in your line of business, there's many different entry points there, right? And so I think that's where we're contributing the most. So we have things like cloud solutions. We have things like, like I mentioned before, SPSS and Cognos and a lot of things that we can help you out with.
Excellent. So are there any industries that you see moving quicker with data? I mean, that get it, seem to get it, and have gotten it for a while and want to keep pushing forward?
It depends how you define that, I suppose. I think when I think about agile, I would say that clearly there are like Silicon Valley companies, like internet companies that are moving extremely quick. I would say also here, in New York, there's a deep, culture of analytics. Mm-hmm. So especially in the financial services industry.
Yep.
And so I think the term actually analytics came from there. I would say the third industry that's probably moving the fastest, this shouldn't be a surprise, is the insurance business. I think one industry that does surprise people that we are starting to observe is actually kind of the agriculture industry, as well as health. I think these two worlds these two industries are really starting to grow at a phenomenal rate. And that's what I'm observing, this year is really the growth of healthcare as well as agriculture.
That's interesting.
As growing. It's pretty interesting.
So the agriculture industry predicting spoilage and getting food to the right places and
yeah. I mean,
balance.
so you would be surprised at how many sensors are on a farm these days. It's pretty intense. Everything from water quality to soil quality to weather data to machines, right? So milling, these machines are all wired now, and all of that data is flowing back in. And one value for the business is related to supply chain optimization, but also in terms of growing better food, frankly. So I think it's really exciting to see what people are doing with data.
So when you think about your role at IBM and big data analytics, what keeps you awake at night? What do you stress about that you like to do something better with what you guys have?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Thanks for asking that. I would say that what keeps me awake at night is really not reaching, I would say, kind of the everyday person, right? Like, to use an example, like my wife, earlier this week, she cut her finger pretty badly, and she was like, I don't know what to do. Should I go to the hospital? Can I just wrap it in gauze? And she could just use her phone and take a picture of it.
That would be,
and if she could, have a machine learning algorithm, like tell her how deep it is,
enough,
and if
stitches or not.
Stitches or not, or have a doctor who could quickly prescribe something as well, I think would be very groundbreaking. So what keeps me up at night is knowing that all of this great innovation is happening, but it's not reaching like your everyday, it's not making the everyday person's life better. It's going to advertising, or it's going to like these big companies, and that concerns me. I think, when I think back to like the internet and what IBM did with the internet, by open sourcing Linux and supporting that, it's like the internet affected everyone eventually, right? And I think data has the power to do that too.
Yep.
And so what keeps me up at night is if we don't get there, and that scares me.
Yep. So let's shift this conversation to next year.
Sure.
What will you guys be doing between now and next year at this time?
Yeah. I think we'll be doing a lot more work with machine learning, of course. I think we'll be doing a lot more work with the developer community in data. I think those worlds are going to converge. I think we are the platform to do it. If you look at Bluemix, for example, if you walk around the floor here, I've only seen 1 or 2 booths that actually talk about the cloud. That's crazy, right? The market in the next 6 months to a year isn't going to grow from selling, in my opinion, on-premise solutions. It's going to grow from the cloud, and it's going to reach all new audiences, from the cloud. And so I guarantee you, Strata may at one point be called, like, instead of Strata Hadoop World, it might become Strata Cloud World. I don't know. And that's what I expect to see for sure.
Excellent. Well, Joel, we look forward to that conversation next year.
Thank you very much.